Well, yesterday I drove down here to this campground mostly in the dark. I'm somewhere back in the forest between Willapa Bay and the Columbia River, and this is a really cool area. I've been here before at a different campground just about a mile to the west of here. Really wasn't much there, just a tiny little lake, and the campground itself was almost non-existent. But I decided to try out this campground this time because I saw it on the map when I was out here last time, and this place is really beautiful. The campground is a lot more developed, and it looks like there might be a little trail that goes around a different lake. Well, it looks really interesting back here. There's a lot of walk-in campgrounds, and this forest, I think this entire area actually, is former forestry land. This looks like maybe second or third growth even. Fairly new forest. So all the trees are really close together, but it all looks really good. Well, that's an interesting track. Maybe a mountain lion? I would like to thank the sponsor of today's video, Western Rise. Western Rise makes quality apparel for the modern one-bag traveler so they can carry less and experience more. I have owned their Classic Evolution pants for over a year and absolutely love them. The Classic Evolution pants are men's casual travel pants that dresses up enough to get through any meeting, yet is rugged enough for any outdoor activity. They effortlessly replace jeans, hiking pants, and dress pants, allowing you to carry fewer clothes and travel lightly. The Classic Evolution pants are lightweight, durable, and pack well. It's the perfect travel pants to have in your bag. If you are interested in trying out the Evolution pants or any of their other apparel, go to westernrise.com/ColinAdventures15 and use the discount code ColinAdventures15. You will get 15% off your order. Links are below. Looks like the trail ends kind of abruptly right there, which is very strange because the trail is very well developed. But that's alright. I'm actually not here to hike in this area, I'm here to hike in a different area. One of the things I wanted to test today was this new table that I found. So I've been needing a table to do some cooking on when I don't have a picnic table or something like that. And I found this small camping table on Amazon. There's a bunch of these and they're not that expensive. So I thought I'd give this a try and see how my stove fits on top of it. So looking at this table, it looks like it is very compact. I can tell you it's extremely light, and it has a couple of latches on the side, so I think it just folds out like this. And there's the inside of the table. So one of the things I found interesting about this table is, unlike what I was expecting, this has legs that you kind of piece together. They're not telescoping. So here's what it looks like all assembled. It took me all of, 20 seconds maybe to put this together. So it's not bad, and it doesn't take any longer than I think it probably would if you had telescoping legs on the table. There are these latches on the side, and that helps keep the table secure, although I don't think it really even needs it because of the way it folds. It'll kind of automatically put it into the best position anyways. But there for extra security, I guess. And there I have it. I wasn't actually expecting this campground to have a picnic table. It seems to be a common theme lately. I'm getting bonus picnic tables at all my campgrounds. But anyways, that's what it looks like all put together and standing up. Very lightweight. It's actually very sturdy. It feels really pretty solid, especially considering how light it is. So now the true test is to see if my stove fits onto the table. As you can see, this fits perfectly onto the table. There's a little bit of room around the stove to work with, and that's exactly what I was looking for. I've been cooking mostly on the ground when I have to use this stove, and so having this a little bit up off the ground is perfect. Of course, this campsite I don't really need it because I have the picnic table, but I think the slightly lower height is actually a little bit better than picnic table height because the stove, when you open it up, is a little bit more at a normal counter height. So at least for me, at my height, I think this is a little bit better setup. But most importantly, this table doesn't really take up any room and it's very lightweight, so it's easy to transport around. It's really the perfect setup, I think, for my cooking needs. And I wasn't so sure about this kind of mesh thing down here. It's like a shelf, but I think this is actually a really good idea for putting utensils on, and that keeps them up off the ground so they don't get really dirty. That's about it for me here at this campsite. I need to go find a new Discover Pass though. If you're new to Washington State camping or visiting public lands in Washington State, you have to have a Discover Pass to camp or visit or do anything on state lands. And that Discover Pass lasts about a year. It's only a little bit over $40, I think, and that is an absolute bargain considering that you get basically unlimited access to state land. So if you're on state land more than maybe once or twice, it pays for itself really, really quickly. It's a lot cheaper than a day use pass. I was planning on picking one up before I left, but traffic was getting really bad and I just needed to get out of town as quickly as possible. So my pass actually expired last night because today is December 1st and I need a new one before I go to my next park visit. Well, I wasn't able to find a new Discover Pass in this area. I'm sure there's some store sells it, I just haven't found which one yet. But that's okay, I don't really have time to continue looking for one. I'm just gonna leave this one up here, probably won't cause any problems, and I'm gonna order my new Discover Pass online. Leadbetter Point State Park is at the entrance to Willapa Bay, which is one of the uncontrolled and just kind of wild bar crossings on the west coast. There aren't a lot of those in the northwest, but this is one of them, and so it'll be really interesting to see what this looks like. Well, it looks like the trail along the beach is not passable at high tide like it is right now, so I have to find a different route. So down that way is where I was trying to go earlier. But I made it to the junction I was looking for, and the trail goes off this way towards the end of the point. You can kind of see the end of the point out there off in the distance. There's a little piece of the peninsula that sticks out into the bay, and so that's what that is. But the point is actually out right there. Well, this is how you know you're hiking in the off-season in the Northwest, when the trail looks like this. You know, I actually did consider bringing my pack raft today. I didn't realize I would actually need it. I'm actually in the middle of the peninsula right now, and this is what the trail has turned into. It is completely flooded with probably about a foot or two of water all the way down that way. So I actually would need my pack raft or something to wade in to get through that. Unfortunately, I can't say I'm too surprised. This time of year in a low-lying area, things do get flooded, and I am out on the coast where it rains a lot more than even where I live in Seattle. There is another trail that looks like it probably heads to the beach, and you might be able to walk on the beach all the way out to the end of the point. I'm not really sure. So I'm going to go back and see if I can find that trail and at least get to the beach. I kind of like that this is a complete maze of trails back in here. Makes navigating a lot more fun, and gives you lots of options of how to get places. Well, I thought this direction would be better, and it probably is because I can see the other side of this puddle. I'll see if I can get around this, but I may not be able to with what I'm wearing right now. I made it through and tested the waterproofing of my shoes. As it turns out, my shoes are relatively waterproof, which is really nice to know. Well, this is a familiar sight. It was about the same point across the peninsula here where I encountered a completely flooded trail. Probably as far as I'm going to be able to go here. No beach at this site, but I think I have a way of getting to the beach. Well, this is unexpected. I'm in the middle of a state park, and there's a car, which looks like it's sunk into the ground and is slowly decaying. Not quite sure what kind of car this would have been. Definitely an older model, and a very small car at that. But the body's missing, just the car. Okay, so I may have cheated a little bit and drove 20 miles south and found the beach. lot of the beach accesses are closed a little bit further north, it looks like. A lot of them are part of state parks, and I guess they just don't maintain them in the winter, so this will work. One of the really interesting things about Long Beach is that it's one of the few beaches around where you can actually go out and drive on it. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but it's definitely the way it is here. Well, that's about it for me here today. It looks like a stream has opened up next to where I parked my car. Fortunately, I didn't actually park in the middle of the stream, but I probably should move, and I need to get on the road so I can have food for this week. So, anyways, I'll see you guys on the next video.